So, ladies and gentlemen, um, it saddens me to say this, but I have to talk about the OGL. Uh, I've grown up with Dungeons and Dragons since I was about 13. I have always been a 5th edition player at my heart and core of my being. Um, even when I didn't have like rule books or anything, what I was always using was 5th edition if I needed to look anything up. I was never using 3.5 or 3rd edition or 4th edition when I was looking anything up, unless it was a mechanic specific to that. Now that said, you might know that there was something added in 5th edition of D&D that is massively useful for the community. And that is the Open Game License, the OGL. What this open game license does is it allows you to create your own content for Dungeons and Dragons and sell it. Basically, if you make money off of content you make for D&D, the OGL applies to you. And as you might know already, they are actively trying to change it, and they're closing up a bunch of stuff, and this is not boding well. Now, they have come to massive amounts of backlash on the internet for these changes. And I was waiting. I wasn't going to say anything because I've seen the leaks. I trust D&D Shorts to have verified them himself, but I've seen the leaks and I don't have a way to double check it. And if I can't double check that information myself, I'm not going to talk about it. Unfortunately, Witches of the Coast kind of just released a statement today that shot themselves in the foot. Absolutely ruined any chance of having a credible statement on the issue. Now, we're going to go ahead, we're going to read this together. I'm blind reading this. I'm very sad about what is happening with the OGL, and from what I've heard, this is not any good. So let's get on with it. When we initially conceived of revising the open game license, it was with 3 major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of Dungeons and Dragons content from being used in hateful and discriminatory products. One moment. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D and Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs by making clear that open game license content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. And thirdly, we wanted to ensure that the open game license is for the content creator, the homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our players in the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purpose. Well, one moment. Gotta clear up the airways here. They're starting off sounding okay, right? But we all know we all know exactly what happened with 4th edition. It's why Pathfinder exists. Now, driving these goals were 2 simple principles. 1. Our job is to be good stewards of the game, and 2. The OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about these principles has wavered for a second. Okay, we didn't think that you were going to do anything until you did something. And started planning to do something. And what you had leak was in clear violation of these 2 principles. And completely incompatible. That is why our early drafts of the new open game license included the provisions they did. That draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying our types of products the open game license covers, our drafts included royalty language to trying to apply to large corporations attempting to use open game license content. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. Dude, wizards, let me put this in a way that you will likely understand. When was the last time that you've seen a dick? Because it's been a long time since you've been fucked, and it's about time. Understand now? People haven't been happy for a long time. It's just that you decided to make a change that was for the worse, and it ignited a shitstorm. You're not going to run away from it by releasing some, it's meant to impact the corporation. Dude, you are the corporation. You are the corporation, and the way that you wrote it was literally unsustainable for any individual person who is making D&D content. If you make over $750,000 a year, you are then taxed 20% of all of your revenue. That is not something that is sustainable. That is literally monopolistic. That is bad. But let's keep on reading. However, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled at 1. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all 3 goals while still staying true to our principles. So here's what we are doing. The next open game license will contain the provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build, and specify that it covers only content for TTRPGs. That means that other expressions such as educational and charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplaying, virtual tabletop users, etc. will remain unaffected by any open game license update. Content already released under 1.0a will also remain unaffected. It sounds to me like what they're doing is, instead of throwing away their goals and keeping their vision, they're planning on throwing away their vision, keeping their goals. And I'll tell you that because there's another leak of the Open Game License 2.0 that is coming from D&D Shorts channel that will be linked at the end of the video. It will be linked in the description and on the top comment. You should go watch it. There's even going to be a card that shows up in the top right that says that links to D&D Shorts' video, because he's going through that leak, and it's going to be massively beneficial for you to know what they're planning. What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It also will not include the license back provision that some people were afraid was a means for us to steal work. No, that's not what happened. The way that it was worded explicitly said that you were allowed to steal work. It explicitly said that any and all content you create for D&D Wizards of the Coast is allowed to replicate and modify and publish as their own. If anything is theft, that's theft. You can't just write something into your legal waiver and make it so you can just steal shit. That doesn't work. That thought never crossed our minds. Bullshit. Under any new open game license, you will own the content you create. We won't. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on our part. The license backlink was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work, simply because of coincidental similarities. The new open game license will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license back and without suggesting we have rights to the content you create. Your ideas and imagination are what makes this game useful, special, and that belongs to you. Man, this sounds kind of sappy. It'll be kind of, morally incorrect if you immediately follow this with gloating. Yeah, they follow this with gloating right afterwards. Yeah, let's go ahead and read that through, alright? A couple of last thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new open game license today because we need to make sure we get it right. But it is coming. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won, and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we. Our plan was always to solicit the input of our community before any update to the open game license. The drafts you've seen were attempting to do just that. No, those weren't you soliciting input from the community. That was literally somebody concerned about the future of the game, leaking it to high-level content creators because they wanted to see what would actually fucking happen if Wizards went through with this. And you know what? It would be the death of the game. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. We realize we did not do that this time, and we are sorry for that. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which precisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change this major could only have been done well if we were willing to take that feedback no matter how it was provided. So we are. You're not. And I'm gonna once again look at D&D Shorts' most recent leak video. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't. What you need and what scares you. Without knowing that, we can't do our part to make the new open game license match our insert quote new principles. Finally, we'd appreciate the chance to make this right. We love Dungeons & Dragons devoted players, and the creators who take them on so many incredible adventures. We won't let you down. And, well, that is the end of the post. That's the end of the post. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. This is not going to be any good, especially because what follows directly after all this sappy stuff, oh, we didn't mean to do this, oh, we didn't mean to do that. No, you meant to do it, and you literally gloated about it right afterwards. Meaning that you want to take away D&D from the public. You want to remove virtual tabletops. And you want to know what's really funny? You want to know what's just absolutely hilarious? The most recent leak shows that they plan on making it so you can't use D&D on virtual tabletops anyways. Oh man, we didn't mean to make it so you can't use virtual tabletops. Oh, we're gonna make sure we support those with the new OGL. Yeah, their support with the new open game license is explicitly preventing it from being used. Yeah. So, Wizards, I don't know what you are up to. I don't know what the hell has gone into your delusional mind. I mean, I can't think like a serial killer, but I'd imagine that if a serial killer was in charge of a mega corporation, this would be how they'd act. And I'm just going to reiterate it once again, Wizards. When was the last time you saw a cock? Because it's been a while since you've been this fucked. Alright? Now, go watch D&D Shorts' most recent video. It's going to be up here. It's going to be on this video. It's going to be in the description. It's going to be in the comments. And it's going to be in the cards up top. Much love. Stay sexy. Make sure that you cancel your D&D Beyond subscription. It is the only way that you can really stick it to them and show them, hey, no, this ain't Gucci. Because that is their primary revenue stream right now. So, cancel your sub. Cancel it. If you don't like what they're seeming to tease at, if you don't like any of these leaks, cancel your sub. Fuck Wizards. Because guess what? Paizo is planning on releasing an open RPG license. Kobold Press is writing their own TTRPG system to compete with Dungeons & Dragons specifically because of this. This exact type of change was the very thing that birthed the Pathfinder system. One of the greatest role-playing systems. I'm not even kidding. It's better than D&D, but nobody plays it because it's fucking... It's too good. And not to mention everyone knows D&D more. But much love, stay sexy, and make sure that you have a wonderful day. Don't let this news ruin it. You can always go and find some like funny video right after this to make sure you cheer yourself up with. But make sure that you think long and hard on what is going on here, because Wizards sees you as nothing more than an obstacle to their money. They see you as a machine printing money that is intended to be given to them by God himself. And I tell you one thing, if there's one thing that they have written about, if there's one character in their own universe that would smite them dead in their entirety instantaneously should he actually exist, it would be Tyr. Because there's no way that this is justifiable. All right? Have a wonderful day.